Welcome back to another episode of Inspiring Identities, where we come to inspire through faith, love, theology, life, experience, culture, and many more. I'm your host, Jabal, and this is my boy, Jimmy.
What's good, people?
Let's get started. So, in today's episode is a topic that I think that a lot of people will gravitate to. Why? Because of the fact that it's something that is very relevant throughout society, throughout history, throughout culture, and that is marriage. The topic is not just about marriage, but it is about being the potential spouse. So, one thing that I've been learning through my years of either being a Christian or just learning about people in general is that marriage is one of the highest forms of status that a lot of us tend to run towards. But before marriage, we have a lot of different societies, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different ideologies that say that they want to prepare men and women for marriage. You see it on all the TV shows, you see it in books, you see it memes. No matter where you go, there's something about marriage through Instagram, through Facebook, through Snapchat that's always giving people hints and tricks to be prepared for marriage.
I mean, marriage is a very lucrative business. Look at the wedding planning and everything, right? It's that fundamental desire of people wanting somebody, wanting to spend that finding and spend that long lifetime with your partner. You get me? So, I can see different aspects, right? People giving out advice from Steve Harvey, right? The love guru, right? And from Steve Harvey to pastors towards anybody from down to your mama. Even a dog can give you love advice if they can talk and everything. It's just ultimately, in the end of the day, people want to find love. People, it's clear proof that people want that love, that lifelong partnership with somebody else.
True.
You know?
That's true. It's very much true. And in this episode, like anybody's, and I always stress this in any episode, this is our opinions, this is our views, this is our perspectives on it. You may not agree. That's okay. You know, that's what an opinion is. It's my opinion. It's Jimmy's opinion. If you don't agree with it, then hey, I just pray that you take some of the hints, you take some of the tricks and the traits, and you just apply it to your everyday life and just prepare yourself for the beauty that is being a potential wife or husband. Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to go into is one of the things that I think a lot of people, like, for example, recently B. Simone dropped a video. I think it was on her social media page.
Yeah, Instagram.
We're manifesting love. But here's the little challenge. We got all these things we want in a man. A list of things. He got to be tall. He got to be dark. He got to be handsome. He got to have pretty teeth. He got to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. He got to be rich. He got to be successful. He got to be all these things. And we ain't even had the things on that list. He got to be a family man. You might talk to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He got to have a job. You need to go fill out some applications because you're still unemployed. He got to have pretty teeth. You ain't seen a dentist in 6 years. He got to have a six-pack and be in shape. You can't even walk up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing. Get your life together. This whole list that he got to be. You ain't even half the things on that list. So this is what I challenge you to do. So we can manifest love all 2021. Make that list of that perfect dream man that you got in your mind. Then, what I did, make a list of the type of woman he would need right by his side.
Yeah, and Percy, I think that video was really good. Like, it was very, like, she was so truthful in that video because she was like, yo, everybody has a list. Like, women, she's like, oh, this was towards women. So she's like, oh, ladies, you all have a list on what kind of man that you want. He has to be dark chocolate, muscular, smart, 6-figure jobs. He has to be a family man. He has to be all these different things. But one of the powerful things she said is, you want this kind of man, but you're not preparing yourself to be that kind of woman. And I thought that was so amazing because it is so true. And I'm like, yo, everybody wants this Superman of a husband, Superman of a spouse, but nobody is really, and this, for me, this goes both ways. Because I know a lot of men who are out there saying, "Yo, I want a type of girl. You know, she got to be thick. She got to be well rounded. You know, she got to know how to cook. She gotta know how to clean." But brother, you want this kind of woman, but you burn water. Like I'm saying, you ain't been to the gym in 7 years, and you feel me? You talking about like you want a girl that's thick, but brother, you want a thick girl, but you can't pick her up. Like thick women like to be carried. I'm just saying, like you want a girl. She got to know how to clean, brother. You barely wash your own drawers.
It goes both ways, right? It's like
all the time.
You want A, but you can't do B. You get me? And I agree. I agree with B Simone what she's saying. Like take for myself for example. I want a particular kind of woman, for sure. And as a 29-year-old, I am preparing myself to be a particular kind of man.
Hey, come on, man.
Right? So, for instance, this week, I was on the vibe of cooking shows, right? Trying to cook and everything. Cause I'm like, I'm a foodie. I love food and everything.
Y'all know how to cook.
I mean, who don't like food, right? It's like, what's wrong with you if you don't like food, right?
You tell I do Chris and Chris.
But I was like, man, I want to learn how to cook. Me being Haitian, I will say that Haitian food is the soul food of the Caribbean. It's being bold right here, but I'm being honest right now. If you look at the commenting on social media, you'll see I never had Haitian food, but man, Haitian food is good. Recently, on Facebook, there was an Instagram account. A Jamaican mentioned, I'm Jamaican, but I can't lie. Haitian food is the best. Look at the response in the comment section, they all agree. But I say this to say that as somebody that wants, everybody has a particular want from their potential spouse, right?
Of course.
But if you have that particular want, you don't have if you have that particular want, but you can't really provide that want for your potential spouse, what are you doing? So for me, recently was cooking. Me wanting to cook, I can cook. I can throw down a little bit, but I want to be that kind of guy that, you know what, man, I could be in the kitchen. I can make a five-star meal, right? That's what I want to be at. But also in regards to in the last talk, virginity and whatnot, and it opened my mind. Is that yes, I'm a virgin and I'm cool with my wife not being a virgin and whatnot, but I want my wife to be pure in the aspect of pure of mind, pure of thought, pure of any actions and everything. And me realize that I'm a virgin. I have not had sex physically, but I am not pure in that aspect. Meaning that I have lustful thoughts. I am, I'm having lustful thoughts. And if me saying that I want somebody that is pure, but I am not pure, that's contradiction right then and there, right? So yeah.
It's true. That's very much true, man. And the crazy part is that a lot of us as people, we don't move towards these things. And this is not just geared, like I said, it's not geared just towards women. Mm-hmm. This is geared towards men as well, because men have the same thoughts as women. Like one of the things that personally I've come to believe, and I'll try to make sure I teach my kids, is I want them to experience the beauty of life that God has given them. And that means what? And this is me. Like, I hope that people take this and they use it, because if I would have had this mindset living with my mom, things would have turned out differently. And this is my plan to, by God's grace, to help my kids and my family to prepare and be potential spouses. Is what I believe is, as long as my kids are not married, that I would allow them to live here. They can get their own job, mm-hmm. and they can pay their own bills. But I would prefer them to be here at home. Why? Not because I want them to be safe. The world is cruel. No, because of the fact that the Bible says for a woman to be with her mom to learn so that she could teach. And then when she gets married, then she leaves. And I begin to study and learn that it makes the most sense that when your kids live with you, as long as they live with you, their bills won't be crazy. So because their bills won't be crazy, any money that they get from work, it's in their pocket. It gives them the opportunity to choose any career that they want, knowing that, okay, I have a home, a roof over my head, a bed, and I have food every day and not every night. they also have the ability that because the money is theirs, that they have the opportunity to travel from country to country, state to state. They get to get those experiences of life out of this system, so that as they continue to grow through life, through experience, it allows them to see society. It allows them to see culture in a different aspect. So when they get married to their future husband, their future wife, that they begin to have stories like, yeah, I've been to South Africa. There's a beautiful restaurant over there. Or I've been to London. There's a bunch of cool people that I have, a bunch of friends that I have over there. So these are my perspectives and my views that I want them to stay here with me and my wife for as long as possible, so that they can begin to build something. If they want to become an entrepreneur, they have that opportunity, because whatever money that they make from a 9 to 5, they can save it and begin to build something for themselves. They can, whatever car that they want, they'll be able to pay it off effectively without having to worry about, oh my God, I have to pay rent, I have to pay lights, I have to pay this, I have to pay that. But everything, it allows them to grow and prepare, so that when their future spouse and their future mate comes along, they have the funds and they have the means to excel together. They can build their own credit, because they'll be living here. They won't have to worry about, oh, my credit card bill is due, so I don't know if I should pay this or pay that. You'll be able to pay all of their expenses effectively. Why? Because of the fact that me and my wife are already in the habit of, we have 4 kids. You know, we already know what we need to do, how much food we need to put out, how many groceries we need to buy, and things like that. So as they get older, all it does is we just maneuver around it, because okay, bigger kids, that mean bigger mouths, and they have different tastes. So everybody does differently. Like my oldest daughter, she used to love to eat snacks. Now she's a little bit older. She's like, okay, I don't want to just eat snacks. She changed her snacks from bonbons and Hershey sticks to now she's like, okay, I like tomatoes. I like to snack on vegetables and celery.
Dang, that's a huge drastic change right there.
And that's just from life and experience, and her just making that conscious decision herself.
Yeah.
So that's what, for me, that's what I say, like, I believe that is a key factor to help my kids to become potential husband and wives, because they're home. They have the ability to learn from me. They have the ability for me to teach them. They have the ability for me to help them with whatever relationship and experiences of life that they need to go through. So that's why I say that with an episode like this, I really do pray that the people understand that, man. Like, I really do pray that the people understand that the way to become a potential spouse is not just listening to all of these people, these like, mind you, Steve Harvey's advice. I've listened to a bunch of Steve Harvey's advice. I won't say everything that Steve Harvey says is bad, because a lot of what Steve Harvey says it's really amazing in my personal opinion. Like, I've enjoyed some of the talks that he's had on his shows. Like the whole movie was Think Like a Man. That, I don't think that was the best way that shit
about Steve Harvey.
that women should go about. I think there's a better way than to try these different trials and these tests to put men through.
I mean, with Steve, he's the Think Like a Man. I have an inside joke. It's like, ladies, if you think like a man, you end up without a man. Ooh. Basically, right? It's just that no. You be a woman, like, just move as a woman. I think with Steve Harvey, he's pandering. I agree with you. Steve Harvey, he has snippets, nuggets of wisdom that he has, right? But I feel like he's just pandering towards women. He's not really providing solidified advice towards women. He's not being real with it. Ladies, if you want to know if your man is really ready for you, stop having sex for 60 days. The cookie that he mentioned, a trial, 90 day rule, something like that, the probation period. Yeah, that makes sense surface level wise. If you know that if he want to be with you for the long haul, he's just here for you. He's just there just to have sex with you. That makes sense, right? But in the aspect of the lens that I'm seeing, if you want to make sure that the man is there for you from the long run, don't have sex whatsoever. And see what happens. And then just don't have sex. You'll know if the man is here for you or he's not here for you. That's my thing. With Steve Harvey, it's wishy-washy with them, right? I feel like he's just pandering towards women and everything, and I feel like with all celebrities that have talk shows, talking about relationship these days, you're just pandering to a certain audience, and most likely it'll be women that you're pandering and giving advice to. If you notice with Steve Harvey in his show that he had back then, this is not. I don't know if he still has a show out or something like that.
He still has it. He
still has it.
He does it on Facebook these days.
Okay, it's the relationship advice that he gives. It's mostly women that ask these questions, and most women that listen to these advice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to some of his advices. I'm like, I will have to disagree with you on that. But you know what? To each his own. You know, Steve Harvey's an OG. I respect that. You know, he's just giving advice from the street. He's getting advice from the wisdom that he has. But then again, the man has been married how many times? 4 times. So
I thought it was only twice.
I don't know. He has more than one marriage.
Yeah, he divorced his first wife, and I think he married his
or something like that. But either or, it's like you're giving love advice, but have your love advice, the advice that you're giving, has it been successful in your own relationship, right? So that's why I'm wishy-washy with people who give love advice, but you're not really successful in your own personal life on your love advice, you know. But other than that, yeah, that's I'm out of my soapbox right now. That's other than that, you know.
That's what this show's about, brother. We all about. Hey,
yeah.
Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a perspective.
But I do agree with you in the aspect of having your kids live with you as they go older. It basically contradicts American society. How
bro, tremendously.
Once you're 18, you leave the house and everything. But I'm 29. I still live with my mother, and I'll continue to live with my mother if possible. But ever since I've been living with my mom, I have a car. I'm paying off my car note. But it's been a good idea. I've been thinking, man, I want to move out of our home, but instead of moving out of a home, I want to own property.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I want to start small. I want to buy a condo.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a condo. In order for me to do that, I got to save up money.
Yeah.
And if I left prematurely, like last year or so, just buy my own apartment, I wouldn't have money to save. I wouldn't be able to have enough money to save up for a condo in the future.
Exactly.
That's one of the benefits of living with your parents. There's nothing wrong with it, you know. I think, like I said, it's an American mindset to have. Once you're 18, you're able to live and be independent. And we've adapted that mindset, right? So
yeah, I don't think that mindset is like
it's not wrong.
Setup.
It's not wrong. Like, but if it dominates the life of a potential partner, saying that you're independent, you bought your own house at 25, but your partner is still with their mother, still live with their parents at 20, 30, or 32.
Yeah, I think that's a society thing. Like, cause like I said, like I say that's a society thing, and personally, like I say, this is just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that society has put too much weight on that. That if you're a certain age, that you should have your own spot. Now, if you're at a certain age and you save the money and you decide that, hey, I'm 32. I make 6 figures a year, or I make 5 figures a year. I have the money to buy my own house. Then by all means, that's yours. Mm-hmm. But if you're moving out of your parents' house just to rent, I say no, don't do that, because I believe that once you're living with them, it's more effective and more profitable, because it's your parents. Your parents love you. They're gonna make sure you have food. They're gonna make sure that they can do what they can to support you. They're gonna make sure that they do what they can to make sure that your life prospers and that you gain something to call your own. Because that's what most parents. That's what most parents desire of their kids, is for them to own and have something for themselves, man. And I know that's for me and with my kids, and which is why I tell people, like, yo, if your kids live with you, let them, because at the end of the day, you can be there to help them. You can be there to guide them, no matter what age they get money. You can teach them how to invest while they're living with you, and they can do their own research about, okay, I'm home with mom. I make 35, 40, 50 grand a year, and I'm living at home with my parents. All that money that's mine, then I can either help my parents with the bills, or I can invest it into stocks, so I can save up this 50 grand a year to buy a fresh brand new 2021 2022 car. I can save up this 50 grand that I make a year to put down on a house, so that I can already be in a position of ownership. And then when you decide to, maybe man or female, when you get married, you can be like, okay, I already have a house to move into.
You can either use that house as a potential source of income, or Airbnb that house, so you have more money to come in.
You can rent it out to somebody
Exactly.
and gain in more money, and then you have a second property.
Exactly.
Or you can be living with your parents, buy that house, and still rent it out, and then you still have more money coming in, so that you can either pay for your own wedding, or you can tell your parents, like, listen, I make $50,000 a year plus the money that I get from renting out the house. Mom, Dad, take a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can travel wherever you want, and it's like it makes life easier for kids as they continue to grow, because it allows them to stay focused instead of going from, oh man, I gotta work extra hours so that I can pay my rent, or oh man, I can't stay focused on school because my bills are becoming too much, so I need to quit school and then I need to get another job.
Once you have like bills piling up on you, it's a mug. It's like you won't be able to enjoy life, and I fully understand why God does not want us to be chained and slaves towards loans. Once you're basically a slave towards the loan, and the master is the loan companies, right? If you have credit card debt, if you're in debt, you're a slave to that debt until you pay it off. Either way you see it, because the credit card is the master, and you have to pay off the master. You know,
MasterCard.
You know,
no plugs.
Hey, but yeah, I was thinking, like I said last week, just a thought, man. I want to have ownership. Like, I want to start small, buy a condo, but also it's most likely for my mom, because she doesn't have anything in her name. So I'm like, I'll buy this condo, I'll live in it. Have a mom live in it. It's in her name, and it'll be in my name, but it's for her to just to have not only ownership but income, some sort of equity and whatnot. And then once I get married, it's in her name. She can do whatever she wants. She could make it an extra source of income. She have people rent the room. She get paid, pay the mortgage, light bill, but have some money on the side, and whatever she wants, she can buy or sell the condo, and property, the value of the condo will increase. That's $100,000 in her name right there, and she can do whatever she wants, invest in other properties. So that's my goal right there. Right now, I have visions of starting, not only starting companies, but also owning things. So my target goal is to buy a condo for real. I'm looking at different condos in Florida. It's much more cheaper than buying a house. I think the only downside is the HOA, or the condo HOAs and everything. But hey, it's a start, you know.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Once you pay off everything, it's yours. People can't really say nothing about it, because this is your property. You do whatever you want. You know, you can make it into an Airbnb. Again, it's all within you. It's all within your right, and that falls back into B. Simone saying that. I know she was talking towards the ladies, how ladies, you want a particular guy. You have a list of how you want your man to be, this, that, and the third. But are you really doing what you need to do to be that particular woman for that guy? So, for example, we're talking about a conversation with ownership and buying a home. Ladies, if you want a man to have his own house once you meet him, what are you doing? What role are you playing to be able to say, hey, I am this, that, and the third for you, and be prepared for that man who has a home.
What do you bring to the table?
That's my mindset, and that's interesting, because this week I was listening to a podcast, how Who Can Relate? That's the name of the podcast.
Okay.
And the episode was talking about dating in your 30s. The host mentioned that dating in your 20s is a waste of time.
Oh.
To some extent, I agree with them, and this is why. He mentioned that in your 20s, you don't really know who you are in your 20s. You're just moving around life, and if you are in a serious relationship, it's not for everybody. I know some people who were in a serious relationship and got married and whatnot, but to those who are in a serious relationship, those relationships basically do no away, and then basically both of you just grow apart as you grow older, right? But as someone that's inching close to their 30s, late 20s to the 30s, you kind of get an idea of this is who you are, this is who you want to be, this is the direction I'm going in life, and you're looking for somebody that has that same mentality. And he was talking about men, how men, it's better for men in their 30s to be able to date. It's better for men in the late 20s and 30s to be able to date compared to men in the early 20s to date, due to the fact that as men get older, we basically science proved this. Men mature at age 25. That's when we mature. Our brain fully matures at age 25, right? Our whole some men. I'll say some men. Some men get rid of that immaturity. They put their head straight, say, "Hey, this is what I want to be in life," and you work towards that goal, right?
True.
And I agree with them. I agree with it because I'm into my 29. I'm into towards my 30s, right? But I agree in the aspect of, man, I'm actually working towards something, and I want to have a partner that's actually working towards something for herself as well. So I'm not with the BS of hey, if you're doing this particular thing, it's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly with the both of us whatsoever. So I agree with that.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, it's a lot of good things that come out of these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of amazing things that come out of these talks, these perspectives, because it gives everybody a view. Like, everybody is always looking for somebody who they can learn from, everybody who they can get some knowledge from.
It's wisdom, right? The Bible
At the
says,
end of the day,
without wisdom, you perish, right? So you need wisdom, wise counsel. Listen to wise counsel because they've been through the trenches, they've been through the fire, they've experienced life before, after you, so they know what to expect. They have the wisdom to give upon you, and listen to their wisdom. I agree with it because I'm now in that position where, yeah, I agree. I am moving in a certain direction, and as I'm moving towards that certain direction, I'm working towards myself. I'm looking for somebody to do her own thing for sure, but we move together.
True.
Right? If I'm moving if I'm moving forward, but yeah, you're moving backwards, it's not gonna work. We're gonna cancel each other out. So it might as well move our separate ways.
That is the best.
I agree. It's like, man, relationship in your 20s. I remember who I was when I was 20. I was immature. It's like, I get it now. I know why I was single this whole time in my 20s. Because if I was in a relationship in my early 20s, 20 towards now, in my early 20s, I would mess up the relationship because I was too immature. I was too immature emotionally.
Yeah.
Pridefully.
Ooh.
I had too much pride.
No,
So just saying sorry. Basically, I know in a relationship, just being able to remove your ego and just say sorry, I'm wrong for doing this, that, and the third. I won't be able to do that in my early 20s compared to now, for sure. I won't be able to hold that intellectual conversation in my early 20s compared to now. It's like, okay, I understand why God allowed me to be single in my early 20s, is because I don't know myself. So it's like, if I get into a relationship in my early 20s, not knowing who I am as Jimmy,
True.
then the relationship would mold me to something that's not really me.
Ooh.
Now in my late 20s, I'm like, yeah, this is who I am, and I'm still changing. I could be malleable, I'm not set in my ways, right? I believe that if you want to be in a relationship, you need to change some aspect of yourself, because the other person is able to see something that you're unable to see. So if you're willing to remove your ego, as guys, we're prideful. We have a lot of egos, but being able to realize that, yeah, I'm Jimmy, I'm this, that, and third, and this is the problem, being able to rectify and fix that. That's just me maturing up to this point and realizing, yeah, this, that, and the third, this is who I want to be. This is, right now, where I'm at, I am mature enough to say, you know what, I'm a sinner.
Yeah.
I'm going to screw up. I'm going to piss you off. I'm going to disappoint you whatsoever. But I'm enough to say that I'm able to humble myself and come up to you and say I'm sorry without removing my ego and not allow my ego and pride to come in the way.
True.
Talk to Jimmy 9 years ago, that wouldn't happen. I would wall out. That's just in case of as you get older, you mature. Well, hopefully you mature, but life happens, you get a different perspective of everything, and you just know, yeah, I want to be a particular type of person. You hang around mature men.
True.
Mature men, and see how they live their life, how they run their marriage, how they treat their wife, how they treat the kids, and everything. And then, like, yeah, this is who I want to be. looking at how they operate their life, they're not immature. You can't be immature to be in a marriage, be in a relationship, and say, I want to have kids, I want to be married and everything. But yeah, you're operating in an immature boy.
Ooh.
And everything, but not operating as a man. Paul said, when I was a boy, I thought like a boy, I acted like a boy. Well, now I am a man, I act like a man, I think like a man, and yeah, it's all about maturity, you know. There, obviously with a few exceptions, you know, there's some young 20-year-olds who are mature and everything.
Yeah, of course.
But
Everybody does live life differently.
Yeah.
And it is about maturity. But ultimately, I want to say this before we wrap up this episode is, since we're talking about potential spouses, since we're talking about maturity, ladies, listen to me. If you have a man and y'all been in, and I've said this in past episodes, if you with a man and y'all been in a relationship 4+ years and this dude still has not popped the question, he hasn't made no strides to attempt to pop the question. If you and him have been in a relationship for more than 4 years and y'all live together and he has not, if y'all in a relationship for more than 4 years and y'all live together and y'all got kids together and you still don't got that last name, leave him. Leave him. That is I know some people may not like it. This is my opinion. I believe if a dude is with you for 4 years is too much even for me.
It depends on the situation of the relationship.
Sometimes.
Right? It's like, why?
How many relationships can you be in?
Why are you in a? Some people don't want marriage. You know, just want to just have boyfriend and girlfriend. That could be one scenario.
Yeah, both wasting each other's time.
Or another scenario could be, you know, you're having sex in a relationship and like, why be married if you're giving me the benefits of marriage? You get me?
And even that goes back to what Jimmy said earlier about them people just want, if they with you, listen. Once y'all stop having sex and you start talking about, listen, we've been going together for 4 to 5 years, I want to get married. Watch how this person changed. All of a sudden they got an excuse for everything. I really strongly believe it's like, yo, leave a person who has been with you for more than 4 years and there is no form or indication of marriage. Like, yo, every time you ask, oh, yo, when are we getting married? It's always, oh, you know, I'm trying to save up for the ring, or I got the ring on layaway, or I'm just waiting until we get financially stable. Those are excuses. Leave them, man or female. When I say men, listen. What I mean is, if you trying to propose to the girl and she keep telling you no, and she keep talking about, oh, I want to make sure we right financially, she give you some excuse every single time, leave her. Because I mean, that's a waste of time. Like, we're just wasting each other's time.
It can't be guaranteed that you'll be financially stable after you get married. You get me? So
if y'all gonna get
life happens.
For real, if y'all gonna become financially stable, might as well be together.
Be together and learn together.
That's 2 incomes.
Exactly. Learn to be financially stable together in the marriage, because as you grow, you'll learn. You'll be able to build legacy. You'll be able to understand as a couple. Okay, we're married. We have these bills and whatnot. What can we do to pay off the bills? And then once we pay off the bills, be able to create a legacy for ourselves, legacy for our kids and our grandkids, and so on and so forth. That I can get down with everything. But for me personally, as Jimmy Pertil,
of course,
my max, like I will propose with somebody would be 2 years, depending on the situation, right? If I'm in school, it's like medical school, one night, it's a 4-year deal, and then a couple more years to be for training for doctor and everything. I'll say 2 to 3 years whatsoever, depending on the nature of the relationship and everything. I'm like, hey, a year in, boom, I can see each other. This is just me.
Of course.
A year in a relationship, I'm like, boom, we're gonna have a talk. I can see each other being married and everything. Blah 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 blah. It's a conversation piece right there, and it just shows me, okay, where's your headspace? Are you dating for
fun?
For fun, or are you dating for
something
for marriage?
real?
Exactly. And yeah, that's just me personally, bro. It's like 2 years max. 2 years, and like, it's like for some guys they can see automatically. Mm-hmm. It's like a couple of days. Yeah, I can see this person. I can see marrying this person and everything. That's for some guys, right? For me, it's like 2 years. I can see myself saying, yeah, I can see myself marry this person within a couple of dates, just a conversation and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then as we continue to grow to know each other in a non-sexual way and everything, just knowing, okay, this person has values, She has family values. She has personal values. She values the word of God and everything. Like, yeah, 2 years. Within a year of the relationship, yeah, I can see each other getting married. What's up? You know, and everything. But yeah, for me, it's a situation type of thing between couples. But I know for some couples, mostly guys, you just want to waste your time. It's because once you're given, it falls back into the being pursued and then pursue, right? It's it's the idea of should guys pursue women and should women pursue a guy. In my opinion, and just in my opinion, I think for a woman, if a woman find a guy attractive, she can position herself to give out signals, say I am attracted to you, and the guy has the option to pursue or not, right? As for a guy, as for a woman, if the woman pursue a guy and the guy just receive that woman, I can see that guy just not really going ahead and propose to her because you never really gave him the opportunity to work for you, to pursue you and everything. I'm that way. Personally, if a woman pursued me and everything, and it's like, here's the food, here's the meat and everything, I'm like, oh, thank you. I just ate the meat without even working for it, and I'm expecting to not work for it for the long run. That's just me personally. I feel like I want to pursue the woman. I want to put in the work to be in a relationship with you, in comparison to having you pursue me. I'll be in a relationship with you, but I'm not gonna put in the effort to keep that relationship. It's like it's just my mindset. It's just my brain working. It's like, oh, okay, you came. If you left, cool. You know, I didn't put in the work for the relationship, so I would. If you put in the work for something, you can put value into it. True, right? If you didn't put in the work, like somebody gave you a brand new car, once you graduate, no car note. You're giving gas money every time. You're not putting no work towards it. So there's no value into something for free, True. Right? So I guess for most guys is they don't see subconsciously they don't value the relationship. They don't value the relationship because of how easy it was to get into the relationship. True. You get me? So that's just me.
Right. That's what this show's about. That's just about everybody putting their opinions and their perspectives. Hey, we don't knock them, kid. Like, everybody believes things differently.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that I'll fight anybody over is if somebody tries to come to me and say Superman stronger than Goku, then we're going to throw down. But aside from that, this has been another episode of Inspiring Identities with your boy Jabo and your homie
Jimmy.
Be blessed, be humble, be a native. Let God use y'all. Take it easy.